To the top of the map, we have the Terran player. He's starting in red. 0-2 in the group. He is
GSL Center.
Center. Very sudden up-and-comer here.
defeating a lot of very, very good players in his, in the Code A run.
Yeah, his opponent, his teammate, formerly wearing the same hoodie as him, he is
GSL Shine.
Another great Zerg player. And, you know, this group is so TSL centered. There's no process in it even. But, you know, we talked about it. You're so right. I feel like both Center and Shine are the two players for TSL that were kind of the young hope, the young potential. We had Ragnarok in there as well, but Shine seemed to have better results overall. And there was never really a Protoss player there that had that role. Inori was there for a while. He was a little bit older and had been around in several different teams before, but TSL made these players into who they are, and this is going to be the last time we see these two players wear that TSL name. And it's kind of, as someone who's been following TSL since their beginning, it's cool to see that TSL can create such awesome personalities.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I was so sad when I read the news they were always standing there.
I actually couldn't believe it at first. I read it and I was like, what?
They didn't really tell anyone. They were always trying to maybe wait for a save in the last minute, and they were always talking about that they're going to move the team house again, which was a bit weird because they just moved to a different team house, and now, of course, in hindsight, it all makes sense why it was like kind of announced this way, moving the team house, just waiting for another chance to save the team, but it just didn't happen. Financial reasons were in the end the downfall of Team TSL. And now we have both of them fighting one last time against each other. We have Center with the gas at this point, whereas Shine, of course, with the hatch first play now starts his pool or nearly completes it. And the scout for Center is already true, is in his main base. And we'll see that there's no gas just yet, that he knows about normal pool timing. And on a map like Antigua Shipyard, we could see a lot here. The TSL style was for a long time to go into a circling, bending Mutalisk on this map. A very, very strong, aggressive style, especially in the mid-game. Was one of the styles that Hyun played for a very long time after he transitioned over from StarCraft Brood War. You could really see that with Hyun. At the beginning, after the lair tech, he didn't know what to do with his units.
Yeah.
This was where he was really, really strong and where he was really comfortable. He was always going into the same unit composition, and then he kind of learned to go into the hive tech, to go into the infestors. It was so awesome to see how he just improved over and over again. With each week, he got better in the matchup, knew more about the timings and about the styles.
Yeah, I was actually, when I saw Hyun play for the first time, I was skeptical. I was like, I'm not sure if this guy is ever going to do great things. He seems to be a little bit struggling to learn how to play this one. Look at this bunker by Center. It's going to be spotted by this thing, which is so critical. If he hadn't seen this, things would be very different. He still might get it up. He pulls that SCV too late. He's going to lose it. Maybe. No, he saves it. This bunker serves to make it so that Shine can't take a third base without trading units. And this is something we've seen on maps like this. You saw it back in the day on Scrap Station from time to time. It's a cool way to really hurt your opponent. But the Queens, he doesn't have enough hit points on that SCV to make it work.
You know, talking about what we said about Hyun and TSL players in general, for me it was always so cool because Hyun played so many online tournaments that I could cast him every week, and every week he got a little bit better. Every week he figured out how to approach it, what to do in the late game, when to transition, and this is also true for Shine. You can see just the development of this guy, and he was of course coached by Hyun, he was coached by Symbol, both of them giving him advice, always there when he played. We always had one of them just sitting in the booth when Shine had to play one of his matches, so that really, really helped him, and you can see that he's one of the strong Zerg players, the up-and-coming players that we have. And for Senna, this is not going to be easy. Even though he made a really good impression in Code A and the up and downs, Shine is... They're kind of evenly matched, but if I would have to give one of them an advantage, it would be Shine.
Yeah, I would say that Center is kind of the late bloomer of the team. His success only started right before the team was pretty much ready to vanish. That bunker, by the way, does get up behind the hatchery with a tiny SCV with a tiny amount of hit points, and the Marine that had no hit points gets in. Now actually 2 additional Marines will get in, but with these Queens here, with 4 of them, This is not going to be a big concern for Shine. All he has to do is make a few more lings. It's a little bit annoying, but at the same time, it's not going to be something that's going to give him a heart attack. By the way, a fake cloak in the main.
Fake cloak in the main, and the bunker is still being really annoying here. But the Queens should be able to deal with this without a problem. The problem is that the Hellions are moving into the natural now, and the Queens are completely out of position.
And you know what's most interesting about this is if he uses the Queens to defend against the Hellions, that hatchery will get lower on hit points, so he's got to really do some good crisis management here. The hatchery is pretty low. He's got a ton of energy on these Queens, and with the Queens alone, he should be able to transfuse himself out of it. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Hellions, though, get by. This is a big concern for Shine, much more than that bunker. And it looks like he's just going to lose a ton of harvesters. So nothing he can do. His split is much better than J-Dogs. The Hellions are not targeting, so he could have done so much more here.
And he's not microing them anymore.
Yeah.
He was just sitting there.
He was not microing them at all. He didn't target the drones. He didn't run away with them. And now Shine gets a pretty okay defense there.
Santa killed 11 harvesters, but this could have been so much worse for Shine. In the end, he didn't really do anything anymore. It was just sitting there and waiting.
Yeah, that was a bit strange. The bunker is cleaned up though. The hatchery survives. That SCB! Oh wow, that SCB is a hero. He repairs the Hellion for just a second.
The lair tech is up now, and we suddenly have the Spire tech for Shine. So he's going into this Ling, Baneling, Mutalisk composition that we talked about earlier. This TSL style that was popular on Antigua Shipyard for a lot of them. We have two SCVs not doing anything at the engineering base that have just started with the +1/+1 upgrades for the Terran player. And the same amount of upgrades is also on the production tab for TSL Shine with his Evolution Chambers. Harvester count is a little bit in favor of our Zerg player, who's now spreading his creep farther towards the middle of the map. And the Spire is something that Center hasn't seen yet.
Yeah, he doesn't know about it. And, you know, at this point of the game, he does have the E-base. He's going to be able to react whenever he wants to. It depends on how many meters Shine makes as to how much damage he's going to do. If he does the normal, less than 8, then Center should be okay regardless. His third base is spotted by Shine, who's now supply blocked, losing those Overlords.
That Hellion, yeah, gamble a little bit too much.
These Hellions are just, they're not paying attention to what they're doing.
No. The drivers are drunk.
Yeah, must be the case.
Stimmed. Got a stim pack at the black market. Yeah, can't really handle it. The Marines are used to it.
He's like, so that guy's so dumb. He's like, nah, I'm gonna take the stim pack. The Hellion can shoot faster. I'm like, it's a machine, and you took the drugs. He's like, nah, if I do this, I can go really fast. I'm like, I don't know how Marauders shoot faster. I guess they're, or Marines even. Like, how do they shoot faster? Does it make their gun just shoot a little bit faster? How does that work?
Don't approach this with logic.
I actually just started thinking about this now. I'm like, wait a minute.
No. Go back. Be happy. Don't think too much.
Wait a minute. Seriously. Marines can't shoot while they move, so I guess maybe...
Complete.
I don't know. I'm a little bit left.
No matter how it works, Sender will need it now. The Mutalisks are on the map, so he needs them, and he has no clue what's going on, because those Mutalisks are completely hidden. The Viking didn't see it. He doesn't know that there is currently a Spire on the map at all. So the Mutalisk can now go straight into the mineral line, and he will at least take out a few harvesters. He might be able to kill even more.
Yeah, and there they come. He's got the turret up, but the Marines were in the drop. They're so lucky. He's still going to lose them, but they were able to push the Mutas back and buy some time here.
There's the stim. One Mutalisk. That's all that he was able to take out. Can't really approach the mineral line because of this one missile turret that Center built just as a precaution. But they have a good position at the gas now.
He's trying to take out the gas. Looks like he will get away without losing any.
The awesome thing with attacking the gas is that you also get bouncing damage to the SCVs that are going into the refinery.
That's why you see sometimes people attack even like a depot that's near the mineral line as well. Now, one of the really scary things for Center right now after he saw his Muse is that he's having the same logical paradox I had earlier about the Marines. Now he's wondering how Mutalisks can fly in space. And that's something that can really get into your head when you're in a situation where if you lose the game, you're going to be out of the group. He's supply blocked, in fact, right now, making 2 depots. And he's going to have to worry about these Muses because none of them were killed and they're just going to come right back.
We have 28 Banelings now for Shine. This is something that will help him to defend whatever comes his way. But now the Mutalisks are going into the main base, and there are a lot. The Mutalisk count increased heavily, and he can even fight the Marines as long as the rest of them don't stim into the base. He will be happy here. Kills another turret attempt and now just backs off.
Yeah, Center is pinned down a little bit right now by his teammate here, but he will be able to get this hatchery if Shine does not react immediately. He's got the creep spread over in that direction. As long as he comes right now without hesitation, he should be able to save this, but he hesitates, and this hatchery may fall.
The hatchery, I feel, will fall. If he targets us down and not starts to fight the Zerglings, but he actually stutter steps his way in, focusing the hatch again. The hatch is dead, and now he can just pick up and leave. But he doesn't do it. He knows that the Mutalisks are on their way, so he tries to kill at least a few Zerglings before he has to bite.
Yeah, and the hatch being destroyed here is not too significant. It's always the reason why Zerg players don't take that hatchery in most cases, or the fourth, any of the fourths on the edge, because you're a little bit vulnerable to things like that. And Center knew the mutas were at his main, so get away with the drop. There's a big attack here for Shine, though, and I feel like this is not a good idea. There's a really nice defense up, but does he have too much?
The tanks are in an awesome spot. Can the Marines deal with the Mutalisks? This is the big question. There are so many... There are way too many tanks.
That was
he killed
a bad
all
idea.
the Banelings, the reinforcements with the... Oh, actually,
wow,
is he able to take down the... No. Yeah, the reinforcements with all those Zerglings won't do anything at all. There were too many Marines left when Shine attacked. The Banelings already taken out by the Marines. The Mutalisks couldn't really do their job, and now suddenly Center has an awesome supply lead and is also in a position where he can move into the middle of the map, claim the high ground, destroy the creep tumors. This is definitely not what Shine was hoping for.
Yeah, this is really, really bad news for Shine. His hatchery that he's trying to make as his fourth is going to be killed again as well. He keeps taking this base. I don't like this choice because with the composition he's chosen, he has so many lings. Defending the fourth in the middle of the map would have actually been so much easier, especially since he already has his creep past the watchtower.
Well, he has to get a fourth base now. Usually what you try to do with the Ling, Zergling, Baneling composition is to dominate the mid-game. You can go for this massive attack, but Center was already prepared for it.
Yeah, he had a ton of siege tanks.
Then most Zerg players start to secure themselves a fourth base and just make sure that they transition a little bit slower, but in the end into the Hive Tech and into Broodlords, or usually then into a composition with a few Ultralisks. Main base drop now going down. Center losing his medivac, but the Marines are still there, still doing damage, and those Zerglings are not in a good position. He's losing a lot of them. That was definitely a good trade for Center here. Yeah. Also very positional.
The SCVs come across now, and honestly, I feel like if Shine doesn't take a really good engagement here, Center is not only going to take this fight in the middle of the map, but take control of this game so heavily that I don't think Shine can recover. He's actually on a bad rally, a lot of his links died there.
He already is in control. We have him with a fourth base now. The planetary is done. The middle of the map, it belongs to the Terran player. +3/+3 is on the production tab. It's, at this point, really his game to lose.
Exactly, and the position here, though, his tanks were really late. It's a good engagement for Shine initially, but some hesitation on his Banelings, and now, once the Banelings fall, Center...
The siege up was way too late.
Yeah.
The siege up was definitely too late. You try to claim the middle of the map, and then you siege up into a good position. You always spread your units out. If the Zerg player starts to attack into the middle, you have the better position, you have a spread position, and you can, from this strong position on, just send troops out to clear creep tumors and to attack those bases, make sure that the Zerg doesn't take a fourth. And Center didn't do it. He just lost his supply advantage. This is just, once again, one of these back and forth games because of individual positional mistakes, and Shine even knows about this fourth base, the
found
Center.
it, but it's a planetary, and so attacking it is not going to be easy. There's a drop going over to kill the hatchery that hasn't even been started yet for Shine, so he's gonna have to cancel that one. He actually sends a drone. The drone dies to the Marines. Meanwhile, Center is going to take, as his name might suggest, the center of Antigua Shipyard.
It's just so weird. The first defense by Senna was so great, and then he makes this mistake in the middle of the map where he doesn't siege up. I think he maybe thought he has enough to push into his opponent's base with the positional drops that he started, where he drew just Shine's, just defense a bit away from the middle, but it was a bit weird. Now we have the Broodlord transition, and Center has to try to get enough Vikings into the game. He's already building, he's also adding additional starports to get his Viking production up.
Yeah, Center is killing tumors. He's got the Viking production, as you said. I think Shine, he needs to take another fight like we just did in the middle of the map where Center was unsieged, but Senator's getting closer and closer to him. He has this 4th base, so much extra mining coming from that Shine cannot stop. He's unsieged again, and the Lings catch part of his army. This is exactly what Shine needs to continue to hope for.
This is awesome for the Zerg player here. He can even try to catch the rest of this army. If he runs in, he might be able to get another tank, but this is really so good for him. There's so much resource, so many resources lost for Center now, and look at this army for Shine. He's getting his Broodlords now into position. He also has Banelings morphing. If those Marines dart in, they will be fungal. The Banelings will get into a good spot. And Center is trying to go for a Doom drop into the base, I feel. What is he doing with these 3 medivacs? They are missing at home. He can't defend with those.
Yeah, he's trying to get some turrets up here to help slow the Broodlords moving forward, but these guys spread extremely well. Shine in a really good position to attack here since all those Siege Tanks were killed early. He goes for it. Banelings at the back, though, not able to connect with the Marines yet. They run up the ramp. The Vikings are already gone.
And the medivacs are still not in the main base of Shine, so a lot of this army is dead. Center is pressured beyond belief and is now trying to make this drop happen. There are the 2 siege tanks, the triple drop in the base. Shine is going to lose a lot here, but he has enough to push through.
Yeah, he has a position where he can just take this game regardless of the drop.
Well, he has to defend against it eventually, and now another attempt to evacuate a few units with 2 more medivacs.
That planetary
maybe can make it happen.
That planetary becomes more and more important on the left side of the map as well, because that's going to be the only place Center is able to mine from, and it's a planetary, so it's hard to kill.
It's also 6 Vikings at a time, so he's getting the Viking count that he needs.
This army is finally cleaned up in the main base, does not lift, and he actually can kill both of those medivacs with that Corruptor. The Vikings get bungled here.
The Vikings get fungal, the Broodlords being attacked, he's going for the Transfuse, another fungal is good, and here come the Mutalisks and the the Corruptors.
Yeah, Shine is starting to look better in this game. If he can clean up this Marine force, he should be able to start his unit production again. He has to remake his spawning pool. This is really important as well, because with the spawning pool killed, he couldn't reinforce like he did when he first originally attacked. So
he's attacking with those drones. The hatch is gone. Those Marines are now being eliminated by drones. Well, not really.
Well, the Queens helped out.
+3/+3 is just a bit too strong. And this is actually a game that Cinder can still take with the space that he has at the left.
Yeah, he's got those barracks remade. Looks like the starport will die. He's actually going into a massive amount of starports and barracks with a bank that he built earlier at this base. He needs to take gases here eventually because he finds himself spending all of his gas.
Center's mining is a lot better than Shine's because the mineral patches at the natural for Shine are nearly depleted, whereas Center has a 4th base that he's saturated completely.
Army supply right now is 76-45 in favor of Shine, but remember, this is a planetary and most of Shine's army can't fight against that really. He needs to siege up with the Broodlords, but he doesn't have a lot of supporting units. Look at all these turrets. They're going to buy so much time for him against the Broodlords. He needs to just turtle here, get the Vikings out so he can push the Broodlords back.
Yeah, he needs the Vikings, he needs a few Marines against the Zerglings. He needs supply depots as well. He needs some time.
Yeah.
That's the most important part.
Corruptors here baited into the depots, or into the turret a little bit. The Queens are starting to go to work on those.
Turret in the Viking range. But still, there is not a lot of mining going on for Center. For Shine, if Center has the time, he will have more units. A few Marines that he completely overlooked at the bottom of the map. But here are all those infested Terrans, and they take down barracks after barracks.
Yeah, the planetary is so important here. I feel like if Shine sent a group of maybe 20 Lings, or maybe even less than that, to kill the depots of Center that are at the natural, he would have a much better time with this. But unfortunately, he let them go. He ignores the Corruptors at this point and just goes for the Broodlords. Medivacs come in with those Queens from behind, and I think he's done it.
The Broodlords are gone. The Queens can't do a lot here, and now Shine is down to 64 supplies. Center has 1,000 minerals, 1,000 gas.
And he's killing the Infestors now.
Shine is going to lose this game.
He's going to go down to Code A. Looks like it's going to be Center who prevails today. Keeps himself alive in this group. Shine is no longer mining. GG!
Center takes the game versus Shine and has still a shot to advance to Code S. Shine is out, Shine is in Code A. What a weird game.
That was pretty crazy. We had, from the beginning of things, we had that crazy lead with the Hellion kills and the way he was bunkering, just pushed across the map after Shine went into that attack into siege tanks that were in a great position. Center had all the advantages, but
lost in the middle of the map.
We had players take bad engagements, and we had very back and forth. That planetary that he made was the most important decision of the entire game, though.
The individual mistakes in this game definitely made it very, very interesting, and that was what we saw at the end. So these two attacks, I mean, Center refused a little bit to siege up.
Yeah.
That was kind of the story of his game. The first defense was great, but after that, every single time Shine went in and tried to flank, he found himself facing siege tanks without siege mode, or at least not sieged up, so he could take these engagements. But Center with a 4th base, that definitely saved him the match, and he immediately started to build production buildings when he realized that his own base would die. So that was well played by Center, but a very scrappy game, a very interesting game, very, very entertaining. And, well, before we jump into the rest of the matches of the day, we have a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with the GSL up and downs and the wildcard group.